Damn, is that grey hair? I swear I'm getting older as the days go by. Look at all that grey hair. What the hell? Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and having a grand day. Today is Friday, my time. It is Friday the 4th of July. It was my daughter's birthday yesterday. She turned 28. My God, I'm getting old. I've got a 28-year-old daughter. My gosh. Anyway, so today we're moving on with our block of the month, and today it's the ENTWINE block. Beautiful block, a little bit complicated in the sense that it does require some of your patience, all right, and for you to be paying attention and be careful of what you're doing. It's a little bit tricky. I did say, you know, some of the blocks will be a little bit tricky, so this is one of the tricky ones. All right, so just be a little bit patient, and I would advise you to make one block first, you know, cut for one block first and then do the other, because then even if you've made a mistake with the cuttings, you haven't done it twice. All right, now I know for me, I am coming up to the end of my fat quarter bundle, so if you need to join pieces together like I did to make up a square, for example, by all means go right ahead and do that. Don't hesitate, you know, don't worry about, you know, oh, it's not gonna look good. It is gonna look fine. Always remember the overall presence of the quilt. You don't see those minor details that you think is such a big negative to the quilt. All right, so for my block there are some joint pieces where I wanted to make that particular block a whole piece. What else can I say? I hope everyone is doing well with the block. We will be starting our Christmas quilt along. I am currently still designing the whole layout of the quilt. All I've really got to do is just put together what I want the blocks to look like. But do remember, this is just my interpretation. Any quilt along that we do is my interpretation of how the final layout looks. The rest of it is really down to you. I would want you to make your quilt, you know. After all the blocks is made, you do whatever you want to do, whether that may be adding, you know, some sashing, some cornerstones, you know, adding borders, no borders, you know, adding a smaller border, bigger borders, entirely down to you. Make it your own. That's the most important thing. The quilt along is so that we all can do together and that we all can literally learn together. That's the whole idea of the quilt along. So you don't have to, you know, do it exactly the way I have done. What I would say is that the people who have submitted their blocks to me, so beautiful, so beautiful. Well done to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. You know, it's really grand for me when people, you know, reach out and show me their blocks. All right, so going back to the Christmas quilt along, I will have that for you in the next video, if not sooner. I will put up an independent video for the Christmas quilt along, and then you can sign up for that. I think the earlier we get started, the better that we can do, because you know, once the Christmas rush starts, that leading up, that build up to Christmas makes everybody panic and feel like they don't have time. But you've got to set aside, if you've never done a Christmas quilt before, you've got to set aside time to do this one. I am thinking of making the blocks big rather than 12 inch. I'm thinking of, you know, doing a 15-inch block, so to speak, rather than 12 inches. So let's step it up a bit. All right, so with that being said, let's get on to this particular block, the ENTWINE block, and let's get the video started. So if you haven't subscribed, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Come on, guys. I am trying to get to, I think is what is it I am at now? Let's get this discussion out of the way. I could never remember. Right, let's get it out of the way, because I need your support. I want to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. I know it's a stretch because right now we at 34,815. So if I want to get to 50, you guys gotta help me do this. All right, 34,815. I want to get to 50 by the end of the year. I think you can help me do this. It's teamwork. Teamwork. All right, all jokes aside, I'm serious. So subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. Support the channel, okay? I think I bring you top quality content. I really do. And always remember, you can reach out to me and say, hey, woman, I didn't understand that. Can you explain it again? You know, and you know what? Silly me will send the details to you. So what more can you ask for? All right, so subscribe, like, share, leave a comment down below. Do you know why I tell you leave a comment down below and give it a thumbs up? Because that helps the video spread. But if you don't do that, it don't go nowhere. So it's supporting the channel. That's what I mean by supporting the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and liking is giving the thumbs up. That's what it means. So help me to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. I want to have a big celebration. Help me to celebrate. Imagine if we get it done for Christmas. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that? So we wouldn't have just 2 celebrations, which is the Quilt Along and Christmas. We will have 3. Okay? Right. Okay, I'm really excited coming up for the end, though, of this Quilt Along, because that means I will be seeing your quilts. All right, let's dive into this one, and I'll see you in the tutorial. All right, so to make the entwine block, we need your smaller squares. Now, I have chosen black. You can use any color combination, okay? Whatever color you use, make sure it's the same color that carries through to this larger square and this square as well. Most important, because we need to see the entwine movement. If you don't do that, it will look very confusing to the viewer looking at the block. I have chosen a nice dark purple here, and you will see why that makes sense in the particular block. You can choose whatever color you want, all right? Okay, so to make the block, what we need to do is start now, first of all, is to our larger white square, we need to cut that down, and we're going to cut it on the diagonal twice. For this particular block, you are making 2 blocks, all right? 2 blocks for this particular one. Try not to move it like I did, but again, no major issues if you do. All right, so that's done. Let's put that to the side. For this one, we're doing the same thing. All right, so here we go. So what I need you to take heed of, as I said in the intro, it's a little bit tricky, so just be mindful of that. Okay, now I'm putting on the smaller squares onto the white background here, and notice where I'm placing them. So each is opposite, all right? That's very important to note. Notice again that the black here is opposite this one as well, and vice versa on that side. Extremely important, all right? For the white background, That goes there, all white background. Triangles goes to the end, so it must be at the end to show the layout. Okay, think of it this way, that the white background is going to show the whole full square and the actual block is going to be shown in the middle. All right, now for each of these squares, now these half square triangles, my apologies, that goes there. That goes there. Let's separate everything so that it's clearer rather than put it together. So again, this one goes on this side, and this one goes on this side, and the other one goes on this side. I think that looks about right. Now with the purple, it goes there. I would say to definitely build this on your smaller cutting mat. So make all your big cuts first and then, you know, design it so that way you can just lift it up and take it. I felt that was the easiest way to do it, because then that doesn't allow for confusion. So hopefully you can see the block actually coming together from the way it's laid out. Now the next best move is to now use your balance of your squares, your smaller squares here. So you should have 2 left of each color. And what you're going to do is to do, what's the word I used the last time? I said cornerstone. I don't know why my brain gets confabulated. My brain works, I just, you know, my brain just travels to other things so quickly. Anyway, we're going to cornerstone. No, see, there I go again. We're going to snowball the corners. So these are snowball, 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 snowball. And these two here, again, are snowballing. But again, I will demonstrate for you, as well as the opposites is snowballing. All right. With the balance, we're also going to snowball. So again, what you need to think about is this one here goes there. So it must be different. Yeah. So the lighter is next to the darker fabric. All right. So vice versa, you should see it there. So ideally, we're going to then add the black one here, because we got the black there as well. And this is where it shows it being intertwined. And again, you can see the difference. So the smaller square is on the half square triangle there. And we're going to do the same for this one. So obviously it's this color. So whatever color you're using, it should be the opposite color. The only different color you have in here that shows off is the purple. All right. So you're kind of working with 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, but whatever color you want to use, entirely down to you. And on this one here, we do that there again. So the next step is to literally start to make the block together. So what I did is that I made all the snowballing first. All right, so mine is safely on there. Let's move over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how to stitch this together. I have snowballed the center square with the black, and all I'm going to do basically is to trim away. So remember, you are drawing a line on this like I showed you earlier. trim away. And you would have done this many times, making different types of blocks, okay? But for this one, you must, because remember, we are snowballing the 4 corners, so you need to make sure that you do these 2 first, and then you do the after. And then you go ahead and snowball the other one. Now, I am not drawing the line. I think I've done this so many times now. I can, you know, visually line up here with my needle and go all the way down quite easily. Okay, so what I wanted to point out is if you're looking at the block here, I haven't stitched it together, as you know, it's just the squares. Excuse me. And I just wanted to point out, just to make sure that you double check, okay? Because as I'm looking down, I notice on this area here, it looks very different to this side, all right? So you will need to double check the block that it's in the right orientation before you start sewing it to make the whole block. Remember I said to you at the beginning that you need to ensure that the white for the triangles that we cut needs to be on the end. So I can see this one here is wrong. Just a tip, you know, so that you have these reminders to double check. So you must see white, 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 white. Again, wrong. Okay, so I can see purple at the end and I can see the double color here. So just a reminder to check those things. So it's supposed to be this way where I can see the white at the end. Again, turn it again and you can see the white at the end. All right, and hopefully the block looks a lot more better now and it's correct. The other thing you will need to do before you sew it together is to trim any edges. I found that when I made the first one, because as you saw me putting the heat on, it sort of warped the fabric a little bit because this little iron gets really hot. Also, just double check that this pieced block here is you know, it's aligned correctly, or it's the same size that of your center square here. All right, so just double check, and if it's slightly bigger, just trim it down. So for like example, this one here, I don't know if you can see it. You know, it's just little edges at the end that's just sticking out, you know, so nothing major. But for me, I like to make sure that it's a complete square. When you do a snowball, sometimes that tends to happen. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to trim and then I'm going to sew it together like a 9 patch, and then I'll show you both blocks together.
Ooh. and yeah, I'm in the middle of a neighborhood, not a high rise. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm getting a better, more authentic taste of the culture. So yeah, I'm excited for Mexico City, and we about to go get food, y'all. So I'm done talking, let's go.
Oh Lord.
Also, if y'all was wondering why I have sweatpants on, baby, Mexico City is a lot colder than Playa. It's cold. It's cold to the point I gotta book a flight back to Houston to go get my cold clothes. I need jackets. I need hoodies. Like, baby, I was freezing my first night here. I got rained on.
Alright guys, so what I've done is with a little bit of trimmings to tidy up the block so it's nice and straight on all edges. That's my little bit of trimmings there, so don't go crazy, okay? And trim the whole thing off. Let me adjust my camera because you look a bit wonky as I'm talking to you. Let's straighten this up a lot better. That looks better. Right, so I have my other block here. So remember, it's 2 blocks. This is what it looks like. Beautiful. Love the entwine. You can actually see that movement. Okay, so 2 blocks. Any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Those are what they look like together. Again, as I always say, all the blocks I show you are all individual 1-block wonders that you can make a whole quilt with. You don't necessarily need to, you know, you can add another block and, you know. But yeah, they are 1-block wonders. Let me know what you think of the block. All right. It's a little bit challenging, but again, this is what the whole, you know, quilt along is all about, is, you know, getting you to embrace things that you haven't done before and to build your confidence when it comes to quilting. So I hope I have achieved that today for you. We've got 1 more block to make, which is going to be 2 blocks. Okay, so 1 more block that we turn into 2 blocks. Okay, and then we're going to do the building of the quilt top. All right, so look out for the Christmas video coming up to get you to sign up to the Christmas quilt along. Make sure you do before you get started so that it's easier to make all the blocks. But for now, do enjoy the entwine block. And for those of you, oh, I just wanted to say, actually, as I remember now, I was just about to say I will send out the patterns. For those of you who are not in the quilt along, the link for the pattern will be in the description box down below. And also, if you don't get my emails when I send them out, please reach out. Don't think that I am not sending it or there's an issue to send it to you individually. It's not. So please just reach out. I really don't know why. I must admit though, some people do bounce back. It does bounce back. I don't go and check who's bounced back. I just hope that you would reach out and say you haven't received it, but I don't know why it bounced back. Okay, but anyway, that's it. So like and subscribe for more, and I shall see you in the next video. Happy quilting everybody, and happy block making. If you want to share your blocks with me, by all means do that, and I will do a spotlight. I did do a quilt along spotlight block making for Lindau, so check it out. And I'll do somebody else. Probably I'll do Jan this time. Yeah. So bye for now. Happy quilting. And I'll see you in the next video, guys.